This video is showing you the difference between the brush tool and the blob brush tool. You will also be learning a little bit about the smooth tool, which is right in here underneath the pencil tool to the right of the brush. I'm going to go ahead and select my brush, and with my stroke on black and my fill on none, I'm going to just quickly draw a path. When I select it, you can see that it is clearly a path. Pretty simple. My blob brush is a little bit different in the fact that when I paint with it, and I'm going to make it a little bit larger, so I'm going to click on my keyboard, my right bracket to make it larger, and on my keyboard, my left bracket to make it smaller. So right bracket makes larger, left bracket makes it smaller. With my blob brush, you'll notice that when I draw kind of the same type of line, when I select it, notice that this is a shape and this is a path. So my blob brush is basically kind of coloring in and creating a fill. My brush is creating a path. Pretty simple concepts for those two. If I go in, I do my paintbrush tool, and I want to draw, because I'm more of a drawer rather than someone who likes to use a pen tool, and I want to draw an image. And I'm going to just say I want to draw a giraffe. So I'm going to go in quickly and just draw a giraffe. Let's see, I'll make it a girl giraffe. I'm just using my paintbrush tool again, and I'm not getting anything really fancy for you guys. I'm just kind of doing a quick little tutorial here. Looks more like a gremlin, but you get the idea. Draw my little stripes in there. Okay, so I got my giraffe, relatively long ears, more of a gremlin giraffe, but again, you get the idea. So I just use the brush tool to draw my quick little giraffe image. What I can do is I can make a new layer, and behind the layer that's drawn on, I could use the blob brush tool to actually color that in. So it looks like it's going over it, but again, it's on, if you look at my layers, it's on my other layer. It'll go right behind it. So I'm just kind of adding color to it. And this is kind of the way to get around if you're not creating full objects. This is more of a hand-drawn look for things. That might be for some of you who are more comfortable hand drawing rather than using the pen tool or using the computer. So you can kind of color behind that and kind of create your artwork from there. So that's the blob brush and the paintbrush tool. I'm going to go in, I can see that there are some lines that may not necessarily be the neatest lines. I can go in with my smooth tool. And what my smooth tool will do for me, I'm actually just going to make a new line really fast. What my smooth tool will do for me is if I select a line that I made that wasn't necessarily perfect, that smooth tool, if I click and kind of go over it, click again, click, click, and pull across the direction, it kind of smooths that tool out for me. That's always helpful when you're using the pen tool, and say you get a piece that's not necessarily the most smoothest shape you've ever made. So right here is kind of wonky, over here is kind of wonky. If I select it, I can just use that smooth tool and that's going to smooth out those edges for me.